Hey guys, today I will be answering a question that has come up to me a couple times. It's something that I also wondered myself, and I see a lot of people online have been asking. And this has to do with crawl space encapsulation, a vent fan with crawl space encapsulation, and soil gases, particularly radon. So let me give you a quick introduction of what I'm talking about. I have a house with a crawl space and I paid a company to encapsulate it. So it's got the vapor barrier all on the ground, all up the piers and the walls, and it's got all of the vents sealed shut. You know, they got the foam board over it, spray foamed over. One vent was left open and there was a vent fan placed in the vent. It's got a small little opening with like a computer fan on it, and it's always running and it blows air outside. People have asked me after I posted a video of that, what the point of having one vent open with crawl space encapsulation is and having a vent fan. And the company told me it's because soil gases can build up if everything down there is completely closed off. So having that fan constantly blow air out of the crawl space is not blowing it in, it's pushing it out. That is supposed to help with soil gas. Now let me show you this. This is a radon gas reader, and as you can see, it's gone a full week of reading the radon in the house. So the long-term average is 1.51 picocuries per liter. And as you can see right here, anything between 0 and 2, you're good. That's the good zone. 2 to 4 is ventilate, 4 plus is you need to call somebody to get some action done. It's winter time. This is one of those times of the year when radon is especially known to elevate because of the temperature change, especially with a basically sealed off crawl space. And it's been colder this winter than usual. So with that vent fan down there, constantly blowing the air out, it has kept the radon levels down. Now here is what I'm going to do. Now that I have that weekly reading, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to turn the vent fan off. And I am going to reset this, and when you see me next, it's going to be a week from now. We're going to see what the radon levels are without that fan running down there, and we're going to see how things have changed. Here is the vent fan that I'm talking about. As you'll see, it completely closes off the vent except for a very small space where there is a fan that you can hear. It's constantly blowing air out of the crawl space. They sealed it in there like that. I'll show you what it looks like from inside the crawl space next. Here's the crawl space. You can see it's got the vapor barrier. It goes all the way up, leaving a little space for the termite inspection that's necessary. And I actually put the dehumidifier in myself. Here she is. I bought it and installed it. Got it right here in the middle on some blocks. And here is that fan. I know it's a little dark in here, but you can see it's just blowing air right out. And it's got a setting here that you can change. It's currently turned to always be on, but I'm going to turn it down. And interesting, it's not turning off. I have it at 80% and it's only 40% humidity in here right now, as well as outside. So I'm not sure why it's not stopping. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it all the way off for now. So it is now off. All right, it's completely stopped now. You can see the dehumidifier is only showing 29% relative humidity. So it is definitely not humid in here at this time of year. And here's the fan. See, it's just a very small opening. I'm gonna go ahead and cover that with something, so that way there's no cold air getting in at all, and we will see what the gas reading is in 1 week. Just for the purpose of the experiment, I used some of that window shrink wrap film and the air sealing tape that came with it to close off that fan, that little opening. As you can see, it's not spinning anymore. And for those wondering, my vent size is 16 by, looks like 16 by 9. Now we're going to take our radon reader. We'll push the reset button. Give it a chance to recalibrate in the same spot. And we will check on it in 1 week to compare the radon readings with the entire crawl space sealed off. So am I going to get carcinogenic radon levels in my house now that the crawl space is completely closed off without the help of a vent fan down there? We'll see what happens. I will be the lab rat to experiment, and I'll show you the truth when we come back. Alright guys, I am back. It has now been another week, and it is really cold this morning if you couldn't tell. I don't like it. But let's have a look and see what the radon levels are with no fan and that other vent completely sealed off. Here we go. Look at that. Long-term average is 2.21 picocuries over liters. And remember what it was with the fan running all the time. It was 1.5, I think 1.57, and now it's only 2.2. And look at our chart down here. So with the fan, it is in the safe and optimal range of 0 to 2. Because it's going to be impractical and extremely expensive to like try to get it down to 0, if that's even possible. It's just a gas that's kind of always there. 0 to 2 is optimal. What I got with no fan is really not that bad. It's barely in the second range there. Because if you have 4 or more, if you have 4 or higher, that's when you want to get like a venting system that would go like underneath the vapor barrier in your crawl space. And so it's a pipe that's going to lead all the way up and through with a fan in it that's going to like vent that gas out through the house. But you only want to do that if you are at 4 or higher. And look at this, 2.2. That's not bad. The leading cause of radon, this is why it's a big deal. It is just like smoking cigarettes. Radon can give you lung cancer, just like smoking cigarettes does. So if you don't smoke like me, and you're inhaling a lot of radon, you might as well be smoking because it has the same effect. Radon is like the biggest reason that people die from lung cancer, just like smoking cigarettes. And there's actually a chart online you can see that will tell you, according to the amount of radon in your house, what the equivalent is for. It's like, if you have this much radon, you're basically smoking this many cigarettes a day. And if you're a smoker already and you have a lot of radon that's in your house that you're breathing, it's like smoking double, which is even worse. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head, but I got the chart pulled up on my phone. So, 2 picocuries over liters, which is pretty much what we're at right now. That is the equivalent to smoking 4 cigarettes per day. So if you have that much radon in your house at all times and you're in your house a lot, you're basically smoking 4 cigarettes a day. With mine being, if it was 2.5, then that would be 5 cigarettes. So I'm at like 4.5 cigarettes a day. And of course with the 1.5 before, that's only 3 cigarettes a day. So it's not a big difference. If you were at the 4 where they recommend that you get that vented out of your house, that's like smoking 8 cigarettes a day. And if you're somebody who has a really high number, like 10 picocuries over liters of radon, that's like smoking an entire pack of cigarettes a day, 20 cigarettes. So if you got 10, you're basically smoking a pack a day. If you already smoke a pack a day, that's like smoking 2 a day. And that's very, very bad for your life. So that's why it's important. Radon is a gas. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, but it's there. It's worse in other parts of the country. I'm in a place where it's normally not that bad. And I definitely want to do some more personal testing with this because this was done in the winter, so I definitely want to do a test just like I did when summer comes back around and it's actually humid, because right now it's been very dry and cold. It's 27% relative humidity inside the house, 37% in the crawl space right now, 58 degrees, 70 degrees in the house. I definitely got a good test for winter because it was unusually cold. So those are some good numbers for winter. I'm going to do it again in the summer, and I'm also going to test by putting this in different rooms of the house. I'm going to try putting it in the other side of the house, but I want to tell you why I put it in this room specifically. Number one, this is my bedroom. This is the room I spend the most time in. And number two, because right underneath my room right here, that is where that vent fan is at. So I figured this would be the perfect room to test in because the fan is right underneath it. So you would be able to see if there really was a big difference or not in the room that the fan is directly under. But that's it right there. Not that big of a difference. Honestly, if I didn't want the electricity, having to use the electricity of that fan all the time and hearing that annoying fan, because it is kind of loud. They say it's not very loud, but I can hear that thing buzzing under there. I don't even have my bed in this room anymore because that fan kind of annoys me at night. So if I didn't want to run it, I'm really not that much more at danger. But that's just me. It's going to be different for you. It's going to be different for other people. But it was a very interesting test. I am going to continue doing a little more. But from what I just saw, I'm safe right now with that fan off and that other vent closed off. But we'll see what happens in the summer and in other rooms. And I will update if there's anything else to share. But thanks for watching. I hope that helped answer the question a little bit. It was a very interesting test. I learned from it and I feel safe. So stay tuned for more and stay safe out there. And remember, radon is a real issue. So test for it, treat for it if it's a problem, and take care of yourselves. And as a bonus, I did check one more week. I put it in the kitchen, which is the room completely on the opposite side of the house of where that vent fan is and where I checked the radon gas before. So look at this. Long-term average 2.13 in here. Again, that's in that middle range, is barely getting into that middle range, which is overall pretty safe. So in winter, it doesn't look like I need the vent fan in that vent. And while it was just a little bit lower having that going with the fan on, is it worth it to have that fan running 24/7 to have it just a little bit lower? What do you guys think? I think some more testing is needed and I'm going to do it, but I want to put this out there for now just to see what everybody's thoughts are. So thanks for watching, and there we go.